and well, their kids have been through the program, and then Justin went through the program himself. So, so it's had some good success with the treatment. So, with Justin, he came in. He had migraines for how long?
I started getting them my freshman year of college, about 2004. Every time the seasons would change, I didn't really think anything about it until this past summer. I was getting them every day when I would wake up, and it was so bad that I couldn't even see. And my parents was actually having dinner with Dr. Fetzer and his kid, because my mom is one of Zachary's teachers at school. Oh. And she told me, she was telling him about my symptoms, and Dr. Fetzer goes, well, just tell him to come on in. And at first I was kind of skeptical. I didn't really think it would work. I didn't think he could just do it. But then I went through, he put his little prongs on my fingers, and sure enough, I was allergic to, I think, just about everything in the system. And I went every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for about 2 months, and it cleared my migraines up, and I haven't had a migraine since August. So.
And this is, wow, that's excellent, isn't it? Yeah. Wow.
So it's very easy and not painful at all. And
so you had the typical spring things, so you can actually have an actual happy spring, not look forward to the flowers.
Yeah, and his was a severe case, so that's why it was taking so long. So severe cases can take that long.
Right.
Whereas with Rochelle, with her kids, they weren't in a severe situation, so it was, those conditions can take anywhere from 6 to 10 visits, so which most people fall in, so it can happen pretty quickly.
Tell me about your children, Rochelle.
Well, I have 4 children. 2 of them have started the treatments. They're all going to do it, but my oldest was complaining about, since he was 3 years old, he's 8 now, but he would come to me and say, Mommy, my heart hurts. And we were clueless. And so finally we figured out that he may have had acid reflux. And he just couldn't put the words to it. So we took him to Dr. Fetzer, and he put him on the Bax 3000, and sure enough, he really didn't have many allergies, but what did show up with him were his stomach acids. Oh. And I think it only took 2 treatments, and he treated him for his stomach acidity and alkalinity, and he hasn't had, this was last year.
Did you have to change his diet, or?
No, we haven't done anything any differently, and it was when he first got the machine that we started, and he hasn't had a problem since.
It's amazing how fast children respond to things like that. It's great. That's awesome.
Yes, definitely.
I know you're a relieved mom. That's
yes.
Yeah. Your other children have similar issues? Or?
My second son, he is pretty much allergic to everything as well. And he's still going through the program, but what we noticed with him is the way his allergies were affecting him were through his behavior. And he may be someone that might be diagnosed with like ADHD or something like that. But we figured out that it was allergy related, because when he started going through the program, his behavior just changed. I mean, it was amazing how it was like a night and day difference. Wow. And his teachers, 2 separate teachers, both came to me and said, I don't know what has happened, but he's a different child. So that has just been a huge blessing. And to think that we're not even finished with the program yet. We've already seen.
I bet all the teachers should have this in. We should get Dr. Fetzer school.
Yes, most definitely.
A lot of teachers wouldn't be tearing their hair out at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know I was tearing my hair out. So.
Yeah. And Cheryl, what was your situation? What was going on with you?
Well, they brought their son in, who was having a lot of issues, and not behavioral problems, not that, but he had
was too sick for behavioral
problems. He was very sick, and he had contracted Giardia, which he contracted when he was swimming in the creek or the river.
The Harpeth River.
The Harpeth River.
I don't doubt that.
And it really messed up his intestinal system and caused a lot of bloating, constipation,
nausea. Severe nausea.
No, so.
Now, did you go the regular medical route? Did you go to a pediatrician and say what, or how did?
We did. We originally thought it was a flu bug. We waited out, went to the doctor after several days of just vomiting and diarrhea, and he ended up going into the hospital because he was severely dehydrated.
Wow.
And they were running tests after tests, doing stool samples. Nothing was coming back, but he was losing weight.
And how old is he?
He's 11. He was 10. He basically this happened 2 weeks into summer break last year, and he says he lost his entire summer, which he really did. We were in and out of the hospital twice, and finally they did I always say it wrong, but an endoscope, or where they biopsied a piece of his lower stomach intestine, and they found remnants of Giardia. Wow. And then I had to fight them because he was very constipated, and I kept telling the doctor, and they didn't believe me. And finally, they did an X-ray to prove me wrong, and and then they apologized and said he was so severely constipated. And that's when we decided we need to start looking in another direction. And we were never opposed to chiropractic care or natural health. We just really hadn't done anything about it and really didn't know much about it. And so my husband works with Rochelle's husband, and spoke very highly of Dr. Fetzer and what he's done for their family. And so we went to see him, and our son when we first started, he could barely walk. I mean, he had to wear
really?
Yeah, he was so nauseated. He had to wear shorts with huge elastic in it. He couldn't have anything touching his stomach. I mean, he was just, he was very, very, very sick. And just within weeks of
holistic care, isn't that amazing? Wow.
Yeah, putting him on probiotic and just different vitamins and supplements and drops, and doing the Bax 3000, doing some treatments to help with the constipation. He did, I don't know what he did, but some stomach stuff. But it worked. It worked. He's our hero. I mean, my son was starting a new school in the fall, and they had a dress code that had to have a belt and a tucked-in shirt, and I mean, he was dreading it. And to this day, I mean, he tucks his shirt in, he wears his belt, he runs around. He couldn't even walk to the corner. And, he's an active 11-year-old.
That's an amazing story. It really is. That's really awesome.
Yeah, they were very happy. So it was.
Yes.
So there was, I guess, a lot of pressure to try and get him better. So, because when he came in, it was like, wow, we got a lot of work to do, and so I was able to get things accomplished and get him taken care of. So, with the Bax 3000, testing to see what he was having problems with, because with the condition that he had with the Giardia, it just really messed up his system, where he became sensitive to a lot of things. So, and I don't know if he was sensitive to those things beforehand, but he was definitely having reactions afterwards because of what the Giardia did. And so we ran the program and treated him for what was found, and took the stress off the nervous system. And then after doing that, then he was able to improve. And then as treatment went on, he continued to improve even more. So
that's fantastic. Well, I think this is wonderful, and I'm so thankful that you all came to see us and talk, about your experiences and what's happened, with Dr. Fetzer.